This is a video from the perspective of a non-Muslim. I want to tell you why Muslim-dominant countries impacted me the most, and they are massively misrepresented.
Yeah! Let's go! I want to give you 5,000.
I know. No!
5,000.
No, 100. Free.
And take whatever you want.
No.
$3 and we will pay.
To name a few Muslim-majority countries that I have visited, the list starts with Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Lebanon, Jordan. The list goes on. I've been to quite a lot around the world in all different places. And I feel like with so much misinformation out there online, I feel like now is the best time after traveling to many of these countries. It is finally time to speak out about the truth about these countries around the world. My name is Isaac. I'm a full-time traveler, YouTuber and content creator. I've been traveling full-time for 3 years and I'm from the UK. As I said in the beginning, I am not Muslim. Actually, I'm not even religious. But there is something undeniably special about these countries that impacted me in a way like no other countries have. And where I'm opening my phone now, seeing the news, especially here in the UK with so much negative media around these countries, around this religion, I thought it was finally time to speak out and show my personal experiences and also to show the truth away from the media headlines. So for every topic I talk about, I'm going to take some information from each different place that I have visited to show you the reality behind these misrepresented countries and also misrepresented religion. That leads me to my very first point, which is safety. Now, if I read any of the government advices here in the UK for me, when I'm looking at these countries, for example, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Lebanon, 99% of the time, it'll be on the do not travel list, which means your insurance won't cover you if you go to these countries, and the UK government advises you not to travel there. But if there's one thing that I've learned on my 3 years of full-time travel, you can't trust the information online, and you definitely cannot trust information from people that have never been there themselves. So yes, sometimes flying into these countries, you're a little bit apprehensive, you're a little bit nervous, but overall, every single time I've left a Muslim majority country, I have felt nothing but positivity, and this is why I'm sharing my experience today. And two countries in particular, out of the ones I mentioned at the start of the video, come to mind when I want to talk about safety. And they are Afghanistan and Pakistan. Two countries my government advises me not to travel to, and also, many people around the world, not just from the UK, will tell you never to travel to these countries. But I can tell you I've had only positive experiences from both of these countries. We're going to start with Afghanistan, a country that is primarily known for war, terror and danger.
Taliban takeover in Afghanistan.
Tonight on the ground in Afghanistan.
But I went there just last year and had such a positive experience. The people were friendly, the food was delicious, the places were beautiful. There were so many things that was completely unexpected that I never even knew about before visiting this country. When travelling around Afghanistan, there is a large military presence. There's checkpoints along the way, travelling village to village or city to city. But these checkpoints and stops are actually for safety. Yes, there might be people with big AK-47s strapped to them, which at first can be quite overwhelming and scary. But actually, when you realise they're there for a purpose, which is to keep you safe, it actually makes you feel a little bit more relaxed. And I never had a single problem travelling through the country. I had two amazing local guides who I became great friends with over the week that I was there. We chatted, we laughed, we shared foods, and even when I was stopped at military checkpoints, all they want to do is speak to you, see where you're from. There's just genuine curiosity and interest to you travelling their country. There was definitely not any moments where I felt fearful. And the other country I wanted to talk about was Pakistan, where there's also a large military presence across the entire country, but also, once again, for your safety. In Pakistan, and I believe also in Afghanistan at some places, they can even give you military escorts to different places. You might think that's a lot and unnecessary, and I actually agree with that, but they really, really care about you having a positive and safe experience in their country. Unfortunately, there can be conflict between the two countries and also conflict within these countries. So sometimes when you're traveling to more remote regions, police might want to escort you to make sure you're extra safe. Now, I definitely think this is not a necessary procedure in these countries. I was traveling with friends and also solo in these countries, and I never felt like I needed any escort at any time. But if you are offered this in the country, they are only doing it with your best interest at heart. Another thing I want to talk about is going out in the evening time. A lot of people would think if you're going out in the evening in these countries, there is a higher chance of something bad happening. Now, I'm currently filming this video in London. And genuinely, I would feel more unsafe going out here at night than, for example, in Afghanistan or Pakistan. People in these countries just seem to be overwhelmingly friendly, especially to foreigners. They are so happy to see you there. And countless times across these countries, everyone just seems so genuinely happy to have you there. And they're really, really proud of their country. I never felt unsafe for even one moment. There was even many times where I got on the back of strangers' bikes. In Pakistan, there's a great example when I was down south in Karachi. I got on the back of a bike of a complete stranger and he took me around his city for 2-3 hours, bought me food, showed me sights, and I had no problem. He was the kindest, most genuine person I've really honestly ever met in my life. And this is just one of countless experiences across these countries. And that leads me to my next point, which is the hospitality in these countries. And I really think this is the most important thing that everybody needs to know about. The hospitality in Muslim dominant countries is exceptional. It is unlike anywhere else. I need to tell you a few key moments. I'm going to take you over to Lebanon now. I was up further north in the country in a city called Tripoli, a city that once again you're advised not to travel to. And I was actually filming a $10 street food challenge, experiencing the local cuisine and meeting the local people. And oh my God, let me tell you, did I get a lot of free food. People were so proud and happy that I was there experiencing their food. I went into a shawarma restaurant and they were giving me free tasters, trying to put food in my mouth, giving me extra portions, making sure I was completely fed. I then went to this amazing sweet shop called Halab, and oh my God, the hospitality just continued. They were giving me free samples. They were saying, try this, try that. The people were saying, just take whatever you want. It's on us. Like, the hospitality was unbelievable, and the food was of course delicious. But it doesn't stop there. Let me take you all the way over to Bangladesh, where I did another street food challenge and almost the identical thing happened.
Please, can I pay? Oh, I can't. Can I give you a gift?
Bondu.
Oh, Bondu, okay. It means we are friends.
Almost none of the street food vendors let me pay. And these are people that really do not have much, but they have the biggest hearts, and they were just so unbelievably kind. They wanted me to try extra food. They were giving me bigger portions and refusing to take any money from me at all. They seemed so genuinely happy to have me there, and also so proud of the local food they were making and also of their country. They're two great examples of hospitality in the food section of things, but also there are so many other stories yet to tell you. So let me transport you to Pakistan, where I arrived for the first time and I was greeted by this lovely man who I met on the plane. I struggled with money issues when I landed at the airport, and this guy paid for my taxi to get to the hotel.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. And I will transfer you the money.
And this was a common theme with taxis across the country. People were refusing money left, right and centre.
You deserve.
No.
You're a good man. No way. This is for you.
No. Acceptable, man.
You are so kind. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
It was just unimaginable. There has not been any other country or any other place in the world where I'd get in a taxi and not pay. Usually when you get in a taxi, you kind of expect them to take advantage of you. But in a country like Pakistan, it was the complete opposite. And I really think there is a common theme across all of these countries. It can't just be a coincidence that these countries are Muslim majority. I feel like when they see a foreigner, they really treat them like family. And I've just not experienced that in any other kind of country anywhere else in the world. I have travelled now to over 40 countries, and Muslim majority countries seem to be the most hospitable and the most giving, and they make you feel so comfortable. And it is also heartbreaking to see when you read the news or the negative headlines and you just think this is not true. This is just not the reality in these countries. So that is also why it is my mission, not just for Muslim majority countries, but for all countries around the world when I'm travelling to, I want to show the reality and the truth behind the negative headlines. If you're enjoying this video and you love to see misconceptions being broken, then please like, subscribe, and also comment where I should travel next. It is my absolute passion traveling around the world and also getting to show you the reality behind countries. I want to mention as well, a big part of this video is to break misconceptions and show you the reality behind these countries. Obviously, I'm only talking from personal experience, and I know no country, religion, place is perfect. But what I am seeing is so much negativity around one thing, and when I've experienced the complete opposite, I feel like the only right thing to do is speak out about the truth that I have personally experienced. And also hopefully encourage some of you guys that have maybe never considered going to these kind of places, that actually is safe, the people are very hospitable, welcoming, and maybe you should consider traveling to a Muslim country. Another part I want to add to the hospitality section that I really have never ever experienced is people paying for your meals. For example, in Pakistan, I had a group of people in Karachi down south take me around to about 7 or 8 different food places and paid for my whole day of food experiences just so I could try the local cuisine and experience a taste of Pakistan. Now, I've never experienced anything like that. Like I said in these other examples of people paying for me or just giving me free food, it is just unheard of. For example, here in London, in the UK, that would just never ever happen. The next section I want to talk about is perception versus reality. And what I mean by that is how the media portrays things versus the reality in these countries. Now remember, I'm just talking from personal experience. I know no place is perfect, But I've had very good experiences across all of these countries. The media will portray these countries being very hostile towards foreigners. Now let's take Afghanistan, for example. They had ongoing conflicts with the UK and America. Now, UK and Americans can travel there and they warmly welcome you with open arms.
Scarf. Maybe I should change my...
If you want to continue. This is the cap.
Yeah, this is the cap.
This is cap.
And then you should wear the fox around your neck.
Now that is something that I never ever expected. And if you read the news, you would also think nothing has changed from years ago. But actually the reality now in 2026, or when I was there in 2025, people really, really want you there. And something I think is crazy as well, for example, an American tourist now going to Afghanistan, you think that is unheard of. Afghanistan and America had ongoing conflict for years and years and years. But now some of my friends who are from America have been there, have just had the most incredible experiences. And also they can't believe how warmly welcome they are. And it's so genuine and sincere as well. Another perception versus reality is the fear around the religion in general. Even a small percentage of people can ruin the reputation of a country or religion for everybody else. But from my personal experience, everybody in these Muslim majority countries are so warm, so gentle, and so welcoming. From locals protecting you, people inviting you in for tea, for food, giving you free gifts, just genuinely making sure that you feel safe in their country is something that we're never shown. And I definitely never ever expected. But now, every time I go to a Muslim majority country, I'm genuinely very, very excited and I cannot wait for the next one, wherever that may be that I travel to. I also think as well, where not as many foreigners travel to these countries, the people are even more welcome because they really want to see more and more people come to their country. Tourism is not the biggest sector in a lot of these countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, but it definitely should be. Not just because of the people and how warm and welcome they are, but also these countries have so much natural beauty. From the mountains to deserts to sea, there are so many beautiful places. In the north of Pakistan, they have beautiful mountains. In Afghanistan, they have amazing rolling hills and beautiful buildings. In Bangladesh, they have beautiful coastlines that I've unfortunately not yet been to, but I definitely will be back. Another thing that really stands out is the strong community culture across these countries. Now, being from the UK, we don't seem to have the biggest community culture. Now, a lot of us don't even speak to our neighbour and definitely just walk past each other in the street without saying hello. That's very normal here. But what I noticed in a lot of these countries, everybody knows everybody. Everyone says hello, everyone says hi, good morning, good evening. Leading on from the community culture, it also blends hand in hand with the food culture. Food seems to be such a big thing in these countries. Street food primarily. There is street food across all of these countries. Lebanon, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan. It is so common to see street food vendors everywhere. And I love it because everybody comes out in the street in the daytime, in the nighttime, and it's such a great atmosphere to be around. It brings everybody in the community together. It's also a great chance to try loads of different dishes. And everything seems to be affordable no matter if you're rich or if you're poor. For example, in Afghanistan, sitting on the floor, eating with your hands, and it brings everybody together around eating this massive spread of food. And it is just such a great way to experience food, to meet friends, and just to connect together as people and as a community. Where I'm from, a lot of us now just order in and stay in our rooms. And it is not encouraged to kind of come together and share stuff. But what I've noticed in these Muslim majority countries, sharing is a massive thing. And if someone's buying a big meal, they're doing it so they can share with everybody. No matter if you're a foreigner or a local, everybody seems to come together, and that is just such a beautiful part about these countries that I personally love. Before traveling to places like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Lebanon, I had assumptions. And assumptions that a lot of people have. I went into these countries expecting them to feel foreign, maybe even uncomfortable, or even scary. But what I found instead was the warmest hospitality, curiosity, and kindness that I have ever experienced. And once again, I am not Muslim, so I kind of had it in my head that I would be treated a little bit differently, or maybe as an outsider and not as warmly welcomed. But what I found was the complete opposite. If you're thinking of traveling in 2026 and want to challenge your perspective, genuinely any of the countries that I've spoke about today, I really would advise to travel to. And I know I'm not alone in feeling this way towards countries. So many friends say the same thing, and none of them are Muslim. And all of us have been welcomed with open arms to all of these countries that I've spoken about. Sometimes the places that we're taught to fear the most actually have the most to teach us. And for me, all of these countries that I spoke about today changed me in ways that I would never ever have expected. I'm now a big advocate for traveling to these kind of countries, and especially traveling to countries that are massively misrepresented, because you never know what is on the other side, and it's opened my eyes to a whole different world of love, care, kindness, and hospitality. Now, that's also not to say any other countries are bad. Definitely not. And also, no place is perfect. But with so much negativity around the world towards these places, these people, I thought it is only fair to speak up on the incredible experiences that I have had. So if you have had any similar experiences or you're from any of these countries, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And I cannot wait to go and travel to each and every one of these countries once again. I really hope this video can give you a different insight and a different perspective on these countries that are usually massively misrepresented. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to tell more stories from around the world in 2026. If this is your first time seeing me on your screen, then I really appreciate you leaving a like, subscribing, and I'll catch you in the very next video.